Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. This is Africa Enlightenment Center, and right now we're live again. And today we're reviewing our top video, a top trending video, which says How Islamists Overran My Country, Lebanon, by Bridget Gabriel. So we're going to review some top comments that I think are very, very important for us to look at and review, because the purpose of the Africa Enlightenment Center is to enlighten people on what is happening politically, in the religious circle, and also socially, but especially in the sphere of religion, which is a major albatross on the wheel of social, enlightenment, on the wheel of progress in our world right now. Like in the UK, there's a crisis right now between the citizens of the UK and Muslim immigrants. There's a wave, of Islamists right now in the UK, and it's cause for concern. People need to be aware of the dangers of religious extremism, especially when it comes to Islam. Um, Many years ago, if you read history, if you study history, you discover that Christianity was also doing what the Islamists are doing today during the Roman era. It was like an ironclad regime that held people bound. Religion, Christianity at that time was like very dangerous thing. People were there were forced conversions, people's properties were seized, a lot of people were unalived. People who translated the Bible into English, like William Tyndale, they were, unalived at the stakes and all that. Witches were, murdered, kind of. There were a lot of things that happened during the Christian era when they were in charge of the world in a way. Today, the major threat we have in the world right now is the threat, the new wave of Islamic extremism. And one prime example is what happened in Lebanon. And that was what we highlighted in the video that is trending right now, top trending video, speech by Bridget Gabriel, who is from Lebanon, but based in America, who told her story of how she survived Islamic extremism in the country, how she was able to escape and all that. And she tells the story of what actually happened to Lebanon. So we're going to be looking at top comments, from that video to confirm the fact that Islamic extremism is really very, very dangerous. And that thing needs to be actually tackled, especially right now in Britain, in Canada, even as far as Russia and all that. It appears these people are taking over, They're trying to find their way, into all of these major cities in the world and take over the cities, especially in the UK right now. It's a major crisis. You watch the news, you see what is going on, protests and counter protests and all that. So there's a whole lot that is going on that a lot of people don't know. You see that religion is actually a very dangerous thing. People are competing to um, grab resources, control people, because one way to grab resources is to control people. One way to take lands, take properties, take over places is to control people. So when you are able to control the people in a particular area, you are able to control the resources or control whatever is in that place. So, and one major tool that is used to colonize the minds of people and to control them is religion. And that is exactly what the Islamists are doing and all that. So It is important that people wake up to this reality and begin to, crusade the need for people to wake up from religion, because that is the major tool that is used to control, these people. Now, I'm going to share my screen so that we can look at these comments that I'm talking about. All right. So I'm sharing my screen right now. I'm sharing my screen with you. You can see some of the comments, in the video, by Bridget Gabriel. You can see the comments there. Now, one of the comments, says one of the commenters, uh, Ika 170, said, why didn't the Muslim country take in the Palestinians? Since then, Lebanon has never gotten up from its feet after the war. So sad when you are compassionate to help people. And that comment got about 13 replies. And one person says, Black September is why. Go look it up. And then somebody says, why didn't Europe took Jews? Aren't you being hypocrite? Then another person says, they never do. Look at the rich Gulf countries, for example. So this commenter, like I read, says, why didn't the Muslim country take in the Palestinians? Since then, Lebanon has never got its feet after the war. So sad when you're compassionate to help people. So what is this person trying to say in essence? Lebanon took in so many, refugees and all that, so many Palestinians, because of the Palestinian-Israeli crisis and all that. So they took in so many Palestinians and all that. And when the Muslim population in Lebanon started increasing, they started taking over. They took over the land, took over everything, took over leadership. And when they were able to take over leadership, they ruined the country. Right now, Lebanon, that was the pride of the Middle East. Today, Lebanon is not the same. Lebanon is not the same thing again, because they've ruined the country. And any country they take over, they make sure they try to implement, Sharia, all right, which is an archaic form of morality and whatever you call it. So they implement Sharia, and begin to take over all the instruments of state and all that. And then finally, they ruin the country. Lebanon is an example that every other country should go and look at and see what happened in Lebanon and learn the lessons and begin to tackle the wave of extremism that is going on right now. It is very, very important that countries begin to look at what happened to Lebanon. It's very, very crucial if we must save the world from this wave of Islamic extremism. And then let's go further. You look at other comments. But there's something I want to point out in that same comment. These countries you have, Saudi Arabia, all major Islamic countries. Why don't they take in immigrants from Palestine? They don't take them in. They want to push them into Europe. They want to push them into the US. They want to push them to Canada. They want to push them to other European countries, but they won't absorb them. Why is it so? Because there is an agenda. There's something they're trying to achieve. Okay. They push these people into these countries and then they begin to use them, to implement their own agenda. And one thing that Britain right now need to watch out for is the fact that look at British football. Most investments that are coming in right now coming in from Saudi Arabia. They're buying up clubs, they're buying up a whole lot of stuff. And after buying them up, they bring in their people into this place. They begin to practice that religion. They begin to practice their religion, and use that to begin to influence government policies, influence a whole lot of things to their own favor, to push their own agenda. You see that? So these are things that countries need to watch out for. These are things that people need to watch out for. So it's very, very important, very, very important that people begin to watch out for these things. Okay, very important. Then looking at some other comments, let's go further. Somebody who reads Quran becomes a Muslim. One who understands Quran becomes an ex-Muslim. Yeah, there's element of truth to this comment. Study that the Quran, you discover it's like even one of the surahs in the Quran talks about this very issue, that if you ask questions too much, there's any questions you ask, answers you receive, they're going to distress you. I think I mentioned that in the last live video I did. You can check it up. So it's a one who reads Quran becomes a Muslim, one who understands Quran becomes an ex-Muslim. Because no way you understand what is in the Quran that you remain a Muslim. That is the reason why they make sure that the Quran is learned, that you don't take time to study the Quran. Don't make sure They make sure you don't study it, because if you study it, you're going to understand the real purpose of the Quran, its origin, and everything about it, and you are not going to be a Muslim. That is the basic truth. And then another comment says, Britain, take note. I just talked about Britain, what is going on right now. Not just Britain, the whole of the United Kingdom, and the whole of Europe. Another commenter says, to all European countries and UK, please beware. Don't let it happen again. The wave of immigrants, that are coming into the UK, coming into Europe, coming into, other countries around the world, especially Europe and America. And this immigration thing has to be, controlled and all that. Then another thing is multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is a major problem. Then somebody said, I am Nigerian. Boko Haram has just come back with kamikaze attacks. Women expect the crowd with their own children on their back. Do I need to add anything? So, not just in Europe alone, even in Africa, in my country, Nigeria, it's really a huge problem. Okay? It's really a huge problem. And then Raha Jagam, sorry for the patience, I can't get some of these names correctly. Let's just say at Raha Jagunawan says, Islam is not a religion in general, but Islam is a political and ideological religion. You see that? And then somebody says, as an Indian Hindu, I feel her pain. We also suffering same problem. We should be united to stop spreading this cancer. So even India is having the same problem. You go to India, is the same problem. Another person says this is lesson for whole Europe. Another commenter says Islam destroyed Lebanon. You see that? So another person says India also has no peace with Islam. This has been going on for hundreds of years. Another commenter says situation now in Africa now, especially in Nigeria. So this ideology, the Islamic ideology, is kind of not in tune with modern day reality, and it's a problem. You see that? So it's important that people begin to pay attention to this thing. That's why this channel, we're making it a duty to put it out so that people begin to pay attention to this thing, because it's important. It's important for us. We want to live in peace. We want to live in a society that there is a level of equality and equity in the society where everybody is allowed to be him or herself, and not some religion forced on you, and you told what you must do, what you must not do, what you must, and all that, by particular religion claiming to be the only religion that is accepted by particular God, that everybody must serve that God, everybody must believe in that God, and all that. And one thing about this religion is the fact that it's no, it's this or never. Okay, they don't take no for an answer. It's either you are with them or you are exterminated. That is the mindset, and it's about conquest. It's all about conquest. You see that? So it's majorly about conquest. They want to conquer lands, they want to rule over the lands and all that. There's also a video, on our platform that you need to go and watch, where one of the sheikhs was saying that Islam is about conquest and all that. They want to conquer lands, they want to rule over over places and all that. They want to establish the Islamic Caliphate all over the world, that everybody must become a Muslim. And they do it in a very subtle way. They do it in a subtle way, all right? Through trade and all that, through giving low interests, loans, or free loans and all that. They use goodwill as a trap to promote this religion. That is one of the ways they draw people into the religion, through goodwill. All right. They use goodwill to attract people, to draw people into the religion, and then gradually begin to radicalize them. They begin to radicalize them gradually. And before you know it, they become, extremely dangerous and all that. They can carry out any kind of inhuman acts. And one thing is this: when they're confronted, especially the moderates, they will say to you that the people that are carrying out this act, they are not true Muslims. That true Muslims cannot carry out such heinous acts and all that. You see that? But who are the true Muslims and who are not true Muslims? You see that? So that is all they say. There was a time, some time ago, that I made a post, and um, somebody, one of Muslim, was threatening me and all that. And then one of the moderates, who was also on my timeline, instead of condemning the act of this Muslim, because I didn't really say anything to offend anybody, instead of him to condemn his act, he was now saying that that guy was not a true Muslim. That if he was a true Muslim, he wouldn't threaten me and all that. Can you imagine that? He didn't even condemn the act and all that. So this tide of Islamic extremism needs to be looked into. The world needs to pay attention to it, especially right now. The main target right now, especially the UK. The UK, Britain needs to pay attention to what is going on. Okay, the immigration crisis. They need to take charge and make sure they stamp their feet on the ground and all that. Multiculturalism has to be limited in a way. It has to be tackled in a way. It must be controlled. We are no longer in the world of the 17th century, 16th century, and all that. We are in the 21st century, and we cannot allow any kinds of barbarism and archaic religions to rule over people, to take charge of our society anymore. We don't have to allow that to happen anymore. It is very, very important. So the UK government, the British government, has to do something about it. Very, very important. And not just the government, the people need to wake up to reject every form of archaic religions that are trying to, come back to take over the reins of our society. We cannot experience the things that happened in the dark ages of the world. We cannot experience those things anymore. The ages where people were enslaved, through religion, a lot of things happened. We cannot allow that to happen in this age and time. So it's important that we pay attention to what is going on. Lebanon, like I said before, is a prime example. Go and watch the video and listen to what Bridget Gabriel said in that video if you've not watched the video, and share the video, make it go viral. Even the more, let people watch it. Let people know what is going on in the world. There are so many other videos, including Understanding um, Islam also by Bridget Gabriel. So many other videos, enlightening videos that you need to watch. So, thank you all our subscribers and also our viewers for watching our channel. Always remember to share our videos, like, and also send us super chats and super thanks to enable us bring you more content. There's so much more loading. And remember, later today, will be coming up with the 60-day Bible challenge. It's going to begin today. And today we're going to be talking about the creation story in the Bible. Is it true? Is it real? Is it a real story? So thank you for watching. See you later.